Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
No, it's business, it's the office. I enjoy it because this is what I love to do.
Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter.
I understand, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
Canelo Álvarez has responded to new training footage of Terence Crawford. Crawford is pushing harder in the gym as he prepares for a possible fight with Canelo. His routine includes strength and conditioning drills, such as weightlifting and resistance training, to improve power and stamina. He is also sharpening his punches with mitt work and heavy bag sessions to boost speed and accuracy. Arab Sheikh Turki Al-Sheikh, a passionate boxing fan, has announced plans to host several world-class fights by 2025. Among them, the most talked about is the long-awaited showdown between Saul Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, which could take place in September. According to Boxing News Online, both fighters secretly met in London last week, outside of Al-Sheikh's involvement, and reportedly started negotiating the terms of their potential bout. ESPN has reported that the fight is being targeted for Mexico's Independence Day weekend in mid-September, set to happen in Las Vegas at the 168-pound weight limit with no rehydration clause. ESPN boxing insider Mike Coppinger noted that talks are already in the final stages to seal the deal. One major hurdle, however, is that Crawford would need to put on 14 pounds to meet the weight requirement. Canelo has gradually climbed through multiple divisions during his career, beginning at super welterweight where he claimed the WBC world title, later unifying middleweight at 160 pounds, moving briefly to light heavyweight where he defeated Sergey Kovalev for the WBO belt, and then settling at super middleweight where he became the first undisputed four-belt champion. Since 2016, most of Canelo's fights have ended before reaching the judges' scorecards, showcasing his power at higher weights. For Crawford, moving up 2 full divisions to face Canelo would be a major challenge. Canelo himself has voiced doubts about the matchup, stressing that there are weight classes for a reason. He pointed out that Crawford performs best at 147 pounds, despite recently moving up to 154 and winning a world title against Israil Madrimov. While Crawford has proven his skill across divisions, Canelo insists that stepping up to 168 pounds could put him at a serious disadvantage in terms of size and power. His stance reflects the long-standing boxing principle that weight divisions exist to keep fights fair, competitive, and safe for both athletes.
You can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Canelo Álvarez has criticized Terence Crawford's career record, claiming it lacks true elite-level opponents. According to Canelo, Crawford's best win came against Errol Spence Jr., who was already weight-drained and not the same fighter after his 2019 car accident. Aside from Spence, Canelo argues that Crawford's resume doesn't feature standout names that justify the high praise he receives. Speaking to TMZ Sports, Canelo said Crawford has only beaten one top-level opponent and that his career has been carefully managed by promoters to keep him favored in every fight. While acknowledging Crawford's talent, Canelo believes his achievements are overstated because he hasn't faced multiple dangerous 50-50 matchups throughout his 17-year career.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. he did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look it very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo Álvarez recently made remarks about Terence Crawford's career, which led Crawford to respond on X with, "Oh, that's crazy. So every fighter I fought is not good but one? Just remember what you said, because I've always enjoyed making somebody look like nobody." Critics of Crawford argue that his record has been carefully built by matching him against B-level opponents, avoiding tougher names such as Jaron Ennis, Bakram Murtazaliev, and Virgil Ortiz Jr. Some suggest that to earn a fight with Canelo, Crawford should first prove himself at 168 pounds by facing top super middleweights like David Benavidez or David Morrell. Crawford, however, remains confident in his resume and dismisses claims that his career is padded. He continues to assert his dominance, pointing to his accomplishments across multiple divisions. Canelo, on the other hand, has admitted that many fighters want to face him, saying, "Everyone wants to fight me, so it's fine. If a fight makes sense, then why not?" Although Canelo once hesitated to fight Crawford because he felt defeating a smaller opponent wouldn't bring him much credit, his perspective has shifted. Recently, he met with influential boxing figure Turki Alshik in London to discuss a potential bout. If finalized, Crawford would need to move up to super middleweight, a significant leap that experts believe could test his limits. Two-weight world champion Teofimo Lopez, who has trained with Canelo under coach Eddie Reynoso, is among those who think the weight jump could be too much for Crawford. Still, the possible matchup has created huge buzz among fans and analysts, fueling anticipation for what could become one of boxing's biggest events.
For Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
It's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out with other weight classes and that's it, and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. But if the fight makes sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at number one pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
It's a few people there who deserve to be the number one pound for pound, and it's fine.
Canelo Álvarez has shown confidence about a possible fight with Terence Crawford, saying, "Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight is boring." His comments highlight his view that Crawford's style, built on movement and defense, doesn't match the type of fights he usually prefers. Despite this, talks about a showdown between the two champions have moved forward. Reports suggest that an agreement is in place for a September 2025 fight in Las Vegas, creating major buzz in the boxing world. After his win over Edgar Berlanga, Canelo admitted that facing Crawford is possible, stressing that the right terms would need to be secured for such a big event. More recently, news emerged that Canelo and Crawford have held promising talks with Saudi boxing chief Turki Alshik to finalize a deal for 2025. Both fighters are said to have agreed to a September date in Las Vegas. While excitement grows over the potential mega fight, Canelo has made it clear that he remains focused on his current commitments and would only fully turn his attention to Crawford after completing his existing obligations.
Always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
And I do have to ask you about Dimitri Bivol, because that's a rematch you've always talked about wanting. How do you see the rematch going with Bivol and Beterbiev?
I think it's going to be another good fight. It's going to be another good fight. Both fighters are good fighters, so I think both have a chance to win. Like the previous one was a really good fight.
So whatever is next, we look forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Canelo Álvarez is expected to play a major role in the upcoming Riyadh series following talks about a possible mega fight with Terence Crawford. The event, hosted in Saudi Arabia, is designed to showcase top-level boxing talent, with both fighters reportedly agreeing to face each other in September 2025. Saudi boxing chief Turki Alshik has been pushing to secure major events for the kingdom and has offered over $200 million to bring Canelo to Riyadh. Speaking at the opening of El Pastor del Ar in San Diego, Canelo said, "I never say no to business," making it clear he is open to negotiations if the deal is right. He also revealed that 80% of the profits from his fights, including ticket sales, go directly to him, adding that he accepts these risks because of the huge financial rewards at stake.
Saul, my carnal, how are you? Quick question. I know, as we walk, Canelo, How important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have the doors open.
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turki about that show?
Yeah,
about Canelo?
We know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Last one, I know you're pushed for time. Benavidez Morel, who wins?
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. 50-50 fight.
Canelo, thank you for that.
In a recent interview, Mikey Garcia shared his views on a possible fight between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford. Garcia praised Crawford as one of the most skilled fighters he has ever seen and recalled telling Crawford that his accomplishments often go underappreciated due to politics and favoritism in boxing. Still, Garcia pointed to the clear size difference as a deciding factor, noting that Canelo fights at 168 pounds while Crawford only recently moved up to 154 and already found that weight challenging. Garcia said he doubts Canelo would ever drop below 166 pounds, which means the size and power edge would strongly favor Canelo, even though Crawford is the sharper technician. Ultimately, Garcia said he is not in favor of the matchup, stressing that Crawford has already proven his greatness by succeeding in multiple divisions. Veteran boxing analyst Dan Rafael also weighed in on the potential clash. He explained that Canelo is very smart when it comes to business and would be drawn to the massive financial rewards such a fight could bring. Rafael added that this matchup could be one of the biggest in boxing history, attracting global attention and record-breaking revenue. With both fighters at the peak of their careers, he said the bout would be one of the most highly anticipated events the sport has ever seen.
I've read somewhere that Canelo has shortlisted Crawford for the May fight, his fight in May. Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, I think it's just a fluid situation. I don't think there's anything definitive one way or the other at this point. I mean, it's not a secret that that's a fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly, it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel Madrimov. It's obviously a fight that Terence Crawford has been very vocal about wanting. Now, Canelo hasn't ever said he wanted the fight, kind of downplayed it to a certain degree. But it wasn't that long ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, he was doing an appearance and he was asked about it and he didn't close the door on it. In the past, he sort of like closed the door on it. It was like, I'm not interested. He's like, listen, I'll talk to anybody and listen to what they have to say about the deal, any kind of deal. So in my mind, that sort of at least cracked open the door to have the conversation. Like he wasn't just saying, forget it, in terms of working with Turki or anybody else. So I think that Canelo is a smart person in terms of his boxing, but also in terms of his business. And when he looks around at the landscape and he wants to make a huge amount of money, like all top fighters or any fighter for that matter, and he looks and sees, who can I fight where I can make the biggest score, in a big time fight?
Ryan Garcia has voiced strong confidence in a potential clash between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, predicting that Canelo's size and strength would give him the advantage. His view matches recent reports that negotiations for the fight are nearly complete, with a target date set for September 2025 in Las Vegas. The bout is expected to take place at 168 pounds, requiring Crawford to move up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles. The fight is projected to be a massive commercial event, drawing worldwide attention from boxing fans. Crawford has also spoken enthusiastically about the matchup, calling it the biggest fight in boxing and acknowledging its huge appeal to fans around the globe. While he admits Canelo has a natural size advantage, saying Canelo is bigger than me, Crawford remains confident in his skills and eager to take on the challenge. With both sides close to finalizing the deal, the September 2025 showdown in Las Vegas is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated and high-profile fights in recent years.
We know the fighters know the intel before the news gets released to the public. King Ryan was asked about Canelo Crawford. He not only says he can't believe they got that fight done, meaning that that's a done deal. We obviously knew that, but he also gives you who he thinks wins that fight, Canelo or Crawford? Do you agree with Ryan Garcia?
Right.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali. Stephen A. Smith recently shared his perspective on a possible fight between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it one of the most intriguing matchups in boxing. He said that while he initially leaned toward Crawford because of his incredible skill and ability to outclass opponents, he has concerns about whether Crawford can truly hurt Canelo. Smith pointed out that Canelo's size, power, and relentless pressure often break down fighters who can't keep him at a distance. While he praised Crawford's technical mastery, he questioned whether Crawford could withstand Canelo's power over the course of the fight or avoid it long enough to win. In the end, Smith concluded that the matchup would be fascinating, as it would push Crawford's strategy and skill to the limit against Canelo's strength and dominance.
Speaking of Canelo, it looks very possible he'll fight Crawford in May. What would you think of that matchup, Canelo and Crawford?
You know what, I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is. As seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. He's phenomenal. But Crawford is something special. I think that he's a better pure boxer. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. My concern is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo, then Canelo keeps coming. Similar to how he stalked Charlo, how he stalked, once he had Plant hurt, he chased after him. Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer.
Terence Crawford's fight with Julius Indongo showed that things aren't always as easy as they look at first. Early on, Crawford had some challenges, but he eventually displayed his true strength and skill. His determination to fight hard and his drive to win are major reasons for his success. Crawford carries a chip on his shoulder and always finds a way to step up when the pressure is on. In close rounds, he proves his championship mindset by rising to the moment. Still, the biggest concern in a potential matchup with Canelo remains the weight gap. No matter how people try to spin it, the size difference is a serious factor that cannot be ignored.
Let's be honest, when Crawford fought Madrimov, he had his hands full, especially early in the fight. Now, I give props to Crawford because Crawford is the type of fighter where he does have like a chip on his shoulder and a willingness to win. He has drive, and if you tell him step it up, the rounds are too close, you're going to get a dedicated Crawford. So he is a true fighter, a true champion, all that. The biggest gripe I have with the fight is the weight. You guys could try to spin it and say I hate this guy or that guy. I don't really care. What do I look like being a true alpha and being bothered by what people say? I don't care. I'm telling you my opinion. And my opinion is not going to change because I know you guys can't change it. I've said the same thing, and not one time have I heard one of the Bud Buddies offer a solution to the arguments that I've brought up. Crawford is good, but so is Canelo. If they were naturally the same size, which they're not, Crawford is probably maybe a little bit taller, but I'm talking about mass.
That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the next one.